Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B.
This is Tech Guy from the Hive.
And welcome to FLOSSTUBE. We laugh about that because that's like the third time we've done it. The first time we got to talking right after and I just stopped. The second time we went to say it, I said welcome to market. And then...
apparently she had a conversation in her head that we talked about that.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because at the class we taught at market, that's how we opened our class. Because we talked about the funniness of having predictabilities in your channel. So, you know, like Pam and Steph have happy finishes, everyone. And Debbie and Kev have like, they talk a little bit and then like their little their little song happening. And so we talked about like how fun it is to like have predictabilities. And so, so it messed me up. I had it in my head that we needed to say market again.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in.
I mean, I guess that's appropriate because this is basically everything that we did at market, bought at market, connected with at market,
bought at market,
stitched before and after market.
You had time to do that?
There's been lots of stitching on my end. There's been lots of stitching.
Where did you find the time?
We had full intentions of filming because it's been about a week and a half since we saw you. We had full intentions of filming before we went to market, and I mean, life just got away with us. We were going out of town for 4 days and we have 3 children. And so like, there's a lot to like arrange and all the things. So, yeah, so since from that point and then after we've gotten back, there's just been tons of things going on, and all the stuff. So,
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit it down below, hit the bell for all so you can actually get up-to-date videos from us. We haven't learned a lot from market. We didn't learn a lot from market. We learned about, y'all need to subscribe. It's free.
It's free for you.
Free for you.
Yeah, we talked about this in our class, which we'll do a more formal section about our class here in a little bit. But we did talk about this in our class. And I can share this with you all, that 79% of the people who watch us are not subscribed, which is insane. And just to let you all know, subscriptions don't really do anything for us. I guess... you know, there's no such thing as a free lunch or free sandwich, whatever that is.
No such thing as a free lunch.
So like somewhere, yes, it matters for us. But really it's to benefit you guys, to be the first people to know when we upload, to kind of be the first people to comment and see all the fun greatness that comes from market, to connect with us, and generally just to support us, not monetarily or anything like that yet, just to show that like you support us.
You just want to be our friend.
You just want to be our friend. Thank you.
Anyway, thanks for the small shameless plug there.
Yeah. So. So we have a ton to talk about.
It's all on the table right in front of us.
Yes, and we just want to give you like an escape right now.
Escape.
And it'll be super fun. I want to talk about stitching first.
I would love to talk about stitching because
I mean, it's all going to be about stitching.
It's kind of a stitching video.
Actually, no, let's talk about our class first. We'll do a little market, a little stitching, a little market.
You go ahead and you tell me what we're going to do.
So we left Thursday afternoon.
Evening.
Yeah, we left. We had planned to leave by 4, and I think we left our house at 4:45. We made a stop at Costco first. We had to get gas first. Like,
don't blame it on the gas, Kia.
Weird.
Don't blame it on the gas.
So we finally got on the road somewhere around 5. It should be about a 4.5-hour drive for us. It did turn into almost 6. I had a bad migraine as we were driving down 65, like getting through Louisville. The sun was setting, and I'm not the only one who does this. But you know how the sun, when it's setting or rising, it flashes between the trees as you're driving past. Yep. And that really gave me a migraine.
The hills kind of got... it was the hills and the mountains and all that
I get
stuff.
car sick super simply. Like I could ride somewhere half an hour away, be in the wrong position in the car, I could be in the back seat. I mean, it doesn't even matter, and I could get car sick. I have been like that since I was a baby. Okay, the cat found a new toy, but it's still attached to the packaging. And she can't figure out
literally
why.
Trying to...
It's a baby mouse, and it's still attached to the packaging. That is hysterical right now. She's just carrying it around.
She's the hunter.
She's the hunter. Anyway, and so by the time we got into Nashville, it had been over 5 hours in the car, and I was done. It was the kind of migraine that makes you sick, and it was just bad.
No good came out of it.
Yes. And that last 30 miles going into Franklin was really tough. GPS took us around all the devastation, so we didn't really see anything, and it was late at night. But what we didn't realize was the wind blowing and all the debris and everything in the air was really hard to see once we got into Nashville. And so our hearts really just hurt for that community, but they are so strong. And like, honestly, you would not know there is a ton of devastation there. They hosted us very, very well, I thought. And it was, they were very generous.
And we ate out a lot.
Yes. Yes, we did. And that was really nice. We got an email from someone the day before market officially started that said, like, there are a lot of people who are contemplating not coming because of the devastation, and we urge you to not do that, because we could go and support the economy in Nashville just by eating at restaurants, just by purchasing from their stores, and you know, how all of that works. And so I felt like that was really well worded and a great message to send out right as we were leaving.
Yeah, it was just to put things in perspective, right? And, you know, it's just, our hearts feel for that community. Yeah. In that area, so.
Yeah. The lady was so sweet at the hotel. By the time we got there, I was green. And I walked up and I could barely hold my eyes open, and I, you know, told her our names and that we were there to check in, and she said, "So what brings you here?" And I said, "I am so sorry." I said, "I have a terrible, terrible migraine, and I can't even process what you're saying to me right now." She's like, "That's okay. Have you ever stayed at a hotel like this before?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Then all I'm going to do is hand you your keys so you can get upstairs and take a hot shower."
How sweet of her.
And I was so, in that moment, I was so incredibly grateful for her generosity. And that's literally all I did. I was like biting my tongue all the way up the elevator. So I went in and went straight to bed. There was no stitching for me that night at all. So Friday morning we got up. Early, yes. We went to Target. And, you know, I am a person that if I have to be somewhere, like if I'm teaching a class that starts at 1 at market, I need to be there at 11. I need to be there. I need to see the layout of the land. Like, where am I teaching? If I knew what this was and if I was familiar with the place, this would not be like me. I would be an hour early, but not 2 hours. But I didn't know anything. So I'm like, I need to be there at 11. I just need to know the layout of the land, whatever. So we go to Target at 10. Target is 6 minutes away from the Embassy Suites that Needlework Market is at. Sorry if that's very distracting. She's really trying to pull it off the packaging. So we take our time, okay? We take our time. It's about 10:30 when we check out. We walk out to the car. I'm like, we have plenty of time. This is phenomenal. In fact, we even thought, well, maybe we should grab lunch on the way to the Embassy. Excuse me, and then we don't have to leave again. But it was only 10:30 in the morning. Like, nobody's open for lunch at 10:30 in the morning. And we go out to the car and the keys.
Forgot a package.
Oh, that's what it was. We go out to the car, we get in the car, and I said, "Where is this that I had just purchased?"
Is your cup?
And he was like, "I don't know. I thought it was in a bag." And I'm like looking, and it's not in the bag. So we have to turn around and go back to Target. So he gets out of the car, goes into Target, they have no idea where the package is. Okay, so he comes back out to the car to try and find the receipt because they need proof of purchase. We're probably boring you, but they need proof of purchase so they can replace our items, which they didn't have to do, but they wanted to do. Y'all, the receipt was in the bag of the things we lost, so that wasn't helpful. But then he comes out to the car to look for the receipt, and I said, "I'll just come in with you. Did you lock your door?" And he turns around, opens his door, pushes the lock, and we walk back in. So we find our package. They found it, actually. So they find our package. We get it. We go back out to the car. By this point, it's like 10:40. I'm like, it's okay. We're good. We're still fine on time. 2 hours kind of it plans for things like this. Till we walk out to the car and the keys are locked in it. And at this point, I turn around and I walk in to Starbucks at Target and I just sit there with my arms crossed. Like, I can't sit there and stitch. I can't sit there and like, no, I can't do anything. The only thing that was in the bag that we forgot at Target was a cup and one of those Hillshire like adult Lunchable things. So I sat there and I ripped his open and I ate it all. I was done. I was so mad.
On the brighter note,
so, anyway,
this is the quickest roadside assistance I've ever gotten.
Yes,
in
30
my
minutes.
Life.
We were there maybe 30 minutes.
If that. So.
And so they came and he was super nice. And we got to the embassy by 11:30. It was really fine. It's just like, that's not how I planned it to go in my head.
Well,
so it was a rocky start to our trip, but it was really fun.
It was basically, something was always going to happen in this trip, and we just have to learn how to just roll with it.
Yeah. So it was fine. It was totally fine. That's not the worst thing that happened over the weekend, which we'll get to it.
Yep.
So then our class started at 1 o'clock. We knew it was going to be packed. Our class booked full like a month and a half ago, maybe. We had a couple of add-ons in the last month that put us over, and so
we had some walk-ins,
and then we had a couple of walk-ins, so the room was really full, and we had a phenomenal time. We had some really great discussion around YouTube and what that's like to run YouTube as a business and what it's like to integrate it into your current business, and really talked about the importance of bridging the gap between social media and this industry. And not only needlework, not only cross stitch as an industry, but needlework in general. And so as y'all know, like, this channel started as quilting, and so we've had 3 years of experience on this platform with a steadily growing channel, and so we had a lot to offer and they had a lot to offer back to us. So it was great, like, conversation for the class. We had a phenomenal time with it. At one point, I do want to share this with you all because I think this is so important. At one point during the class, we were talking about working with your local needlework store, and I'm not talking about an online shop or anything like that. I'm talking about an actual brick and mortar. And I asked a room full of people, how many of you have a local needlework store in LNS? And only about 5 people raised their hand.
including us.
And yeah, that was including us, the shop owner, and the employee that is our LNS were also in our class. So there's 4 people all talking about the same LNS, and maybe 1 or 2 more that we're talking about separate LNS.
Right.
And I literally said, every single one of you, and every single one of you sitting here watching us today, should raise their hand and say they have an LNS. And here is why. And I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. Y'all know I get here.
Soapbox.
A brick and mortar and supporting a brick and mortar is so easy now. You can call a LNS that you wish was your LNS and say, do you take phone orders? If I call you and say, hey, can I have that new Teresa Kogut pattern? Could you kit it up and send it to me? Will they take your payment over the phone? Do they have some sort of online platform? Would they prefer maybe you email orders to them and then call with your credit card information? Like, how does that work? Because I can guarantee you a brick and mortar is going to want to work with you, however many miles away, to still earn your business. And the thing is, the difference that you have with an LNS versus an online shopping experience is customer service. And, he talks about all the time, Susan the Floss Whisperer. We can call Susan, or I can email Susan a list of a chart that calls for all DMC, but I want it charted in overdyed. And she will go upstairs and she will pull the DMC and she will chart, or she will, what's the word?
She'll compare and contrast different strands of colors, and make sure they are aligning correctly and nothing.
Yeah, so she'll substitute out whatever I need her to.
And you're not paying for that.
And you're not paying for that service. That's something that she loves to do. And that's what Keepsakes has hired her to do, to help out in the shop. And so, your LNS can be your LNS from a half an hour away or from 12 hours away. And I think we need to get better as a community and remembering that and looking at that and coming alongside those shop owners and supporting and encouraging them as well. So our class was great. We only had 45 minutes to talk as a class, so we stepped kind of out in the hallway and had more discussion for quite some time. So it was really fun.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
And we're asked to come back next year to teach 2 different classes in a different variation for 2 different audiences.
Yep.
So we are super appreciative, super grateful, very humbled.
Yeah.
There was a few of us there at Market. When I say few, I like press/social media. It was very honoring that they would ask for us to come back and teach 2 different classes. So I don't like teach. It's not like one way direction. It's like a discussion. 2 different discussions. Facilitate 2 different discussions.
Yeah. So we're either teaching Thursday night and Friday or Friday and Sunday.
Right.
It's going to be some double like that, and we're going to talk about how to further bridge the gap between social media and this industry, how designers can come alongside floss tubers, not even floss tubers in general, but social media influencers, and how influencers should be reaching out to designers and kind of having that 2-way street.
It's a partnership.
Then also, yes, a partnership. And then also what is a good business partnership that's profitable, not in a money sense, but profitable in an overall sense for both parties, and then also for shop owners and social media influencers. So it's going to be really interesting. We're really excited about it. We've got a year to prepare. So
yeah, and y'all are coming to see the ride with us and coming alongside of us. So it's going to be very interesting the next year, and thank you.
Yeah, it was really fun. So if you attended our class and you're watching this today, thank you so much for being a part of that. It was such a learning experience for us, and we loved the conversation that we had with you.
We could have gone for hours.
Yeah.
And hours, but that's not the time that was allotted, but we kind of go from there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some stitching. Let's take a break from Market and talk a little bit about some stitching.
Cool.
You want to go with your whips first?
My whip.
Whip.
All right, Benjamin Drew. Sew sampler.
What?
Benjamin Drew. Soul sampler.
No. All Souls Band.
Good night. It's my sampler for 2020. All Souls Band. I'm sorry.
What did you say?
No, I don't know what I said.
Okay.
Sorry, Benjamin. So this is where I've gotten.
It's so see-through. We do this every week. We're like, we really should. There we go.
So fabric.
We should really bring something.
Fabric is Under the Sea Fabrics. Fabric by Lizzie LaFleur. Nyx is the name of the fabric. Color and cotton is the thread. Alabaster is the color that I chose, and it was a helpful team from Keepsakes. But before I left, I was dealing with the spinning skulls, and y'all, I had one of those moments in my stitching career that Kia bailed me out yet again and pieced the whole pattern together, like printed off like sheets and taped them together because there was a nasty page break in the spinning skulls, and I was very flustered. So
how many times did you rip it out?
I think I ripped out more than 10 times. Like, that's where I was at. So and I just had to walk away. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And it just so happened to be where the page broke.
Yeah.
And then started back up, and there was not a space in between. It was all confusing. I didn't feel so bad after. She's like, I don't know where you're at. Yeah. Me either. So this is where I'm at. Good stitch. I have a lot to do to be done at the end of March. To be on track to be done before Mania. Yeah. That's where I'm at. So
I was trying to be back here so it would focus on
hi,
this.
how you doing?
Well, I was just trying to stay back here so it would focus on that. But
yes.
You've done a lot on that, and it's really, really pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have quite a few whips because I said there's been a lot of stitching around here, which is great because the last few weeks I don't feel like there's been a ton of stitching. So I had a new start, just a little freebie pattern from the Primitive Hair. This one is called Sister Stitcher, and I just thought this was super cute. I pulled it off of their website, printed it out, and did just stitch from stash on this. So I've got a good little start on that, and I have just enough fabric for that.
Yeah, you're cutting it close there, Chief.
I know. Can you put this back in that bag?
I would love to cut it close. I mean, love to put it back.
You'd love to cut it close.
You're cutting it close. I'm putting it back in the bag.
Yes. Okay, so the other thing that I've been working on, and I have had a plan since we started 2020 and Sampler 2020 that I was going to take Saturdays and work on my sampler. And I don't know if I just need to be more diligent about my stitching time on Saturdays. Because being a homeschool parent, it's not like Saturdays are any different than others, because 5 out of 10 Saturdays we're still doing school, because we either skip a day during the week, or like if Mondays are just too Monday for us, we'll shift it to Saturday, and that's totally fine. So I don't know what I need to do about Saturdays, but I'm not making great progress on this. I'm still on target. I have to finish 2 pages every 2 months. No, I'm sorry, 1 page every 2 months, and I'm still within target. It's just not as, I'm not seeing as much progress.
But her stitches are pretty beautiful. Like they're on point.
So this is the drawn thread Sunnyside sampler, and here is where I'm at on that.
Look at that. That's gorgeous.
So I do have to rip out D and E because I'm 1 row off, and that will throw off the rest of my alphabet. So I do need to scoot that over. But I've almost done with this house here. So
it's gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
That was really good.
Okay, I'm gonna have you just stack Q-snaps over there, and I'm gonna do this stuff back here.
All right.
We're running out of room because we have so many things.
So much stuff.
Okay, so the other thing, y'all, I'm gonna talk about this experience at market. After I talk about this, it's all gonna tie in together. But okay, so you all know how we have been spreading the message of positivity through social media for quite some time now. You know, and it's due to some experiences that we've had through social media and partnerships that we've made through social media, and just how unencouraging those things have been. And we have talked about the importance of encouraging each other in our floss tubes, in our tutorials, in whatever case that may be. Right now through Common Threaded Stitcher over on Instagram, it's a great place to be encouraging. And so we've talked a lot on this channel about the opportunities that you can have to be kind and encouraging to each other. So as you all know, I started this as a Be an Encouragement SAL, and I ask you all to just find a pattern with bees on it, and just to kind of stitch up for yourself and put it by your computer, and just remind yourself to be kind and be encouraging as you're commenting on other people's posts or YouTube.
Or just interacting with people in general.
Or just interacting with people in general. Yes, just like be a kind human. And so when I saw this Liz Matthews pattern, like I knew this is what I needed to stitch as a part of this SAL, this Be an Encouragement SAL. And I've posted this a few times on Instagram, but this is stitching up beautifully. I'm obsessed with it. Here it is. Here's what I've gotten done so far.
Again, beautiful stitching.
Beautiful. Thank you for saying that. Beautiful design. And y'all, I got to meet Liz at market. And it wasn't like a fangirl moment, because let's talk about market and the professionalism that is there. We were not there as, like, we were there as influences. We were not there as fans. And so meeting Liz was so wonderful. She is the sweetest person. And we kind of told her very quickly our story and how I was stitching this and sharing it with you all, and just trying to like be an encouragement to you guys as much as you're an encouragement to us. And so this was a really fun opportunity to connect with her. I have talked with her several times since we've been home, and y'all, she is such a sweet person.
She's a gal. What you see is what you get in the best way possible.
Yes.
And it's very encouraging to see just how she interacts with people. We were able to just chat with her for a few minutes. I know it was a busy day for her.
Yeah.
But she was she was generous in her time with us, and we want to say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the other whip that I have is my one whip that I've started since being back at market. I bought this as a kit now the cats are just gonna go nuts. I bought this as a kit and I just couldn't wait to start it, and I wanted to share it with you all. So this is a floret border bit kit, and it's beautiful. I'm trying not to get a glare there, but also like trying to let it focus. I need it to focus over your face. So this is a bit kit. It is from a company that we have never been introduced to before, and so we got to meet them at market. And Krista is the designer that was there. She is a lovely, lovely person. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. Our camera timed out. Okay, so what I was talking about, we got to meet Krista. She is the owner designer. She's phenomenal. She has a heart for meditative stitching. And what that looks like is very much like the same pattern repeated over and over and over, and it makes this beautiful thing. And it's very much patterns that we see all the time, and we just don't think like, oh yes, that is considered meditative stitching. She has a wonderful message. She talks about how she has gone into schools and taught autistic children to stitch, and it helps with their tics, and it helps them calm down and set their mind on something, which is super close to our hearts. And we were just so interested to learn from her. So I am not 100% sure how to say this company's name. I believe it is Avlea. It is A-V-L-E-A. And as he held up the pattern, it's just a little like vase rug, mug rug sort of thing. And I have started stitching it. This is a beautiful fabric that's actually imported from Greece. All their kits are made with this same fabric that's imported from Greece. It is a 26 count, and it is beautiful. The thread, they gave me the thread and the fabric and a needle, like everything I needed to start this. And y'all, I have loved it. The thread sits on top of the fabric. It does not separate the fabric at all, so your stitches almost look super duper puffy. And so if you are that kind of stitcher, that's like a wonderful thing to have. And so Krista was awesome. She we just couldn't stay in there long enough. Like, we wanted to just continue conversation with her because she was so incredibly generous and sweet, and it was just really fun getting to know her. Her experience with children and her talking about her experiences with children was addictive to keep talking about. Oh, for sure. And it was one of those people that you met, you're like, you know that she's on this path. Yeah. And we want to help support her any way we can. So, 100%. Like, please check it out. Yeah. It's awesome. You know, it's just amazing conversation. So we actually got to feel some of her fabrics and things like that. And we went ahead and bought a yard of this 30 count. And guys, it is beautiful. And it feels almost thick like a canvas. But in the hand, it's just so beautiful to stitch with. Like, as I've started that, this is a 30 count, that's a 26 count, but this is just like, it's just beautiful. We're both very excited to use this in future projects. Mania can't come soon enough. Yes. So, that was one of our things that we picked up from her because we just loved it so much. So, let's talk about non-market related haul. Okay, I got the next pattern the day we left for market. Actually, I got the next pattern of Snow Village, which is the popsicle stand. That's so cool. And so, you know, I'm so far behind in Snow Village. I really need to catch up. I'm on number 4 and this is number 6. So I need to catch up. Let me tell you, I need to get better into my planner. For the last month, I've gotten off of using Jen's 24 hours of cross stitch planner. And like, it's not a job for me. I know a lot of people said like, well, don't do it if it's not fun for you. No, it's super fun for me, and I stay on goals and on targets. And I've gotten really off track the last month. I think it's easier to see your progress in so many projects, and it's organized. I think that's where your head is at. Yeah. And I think that's where you like to put your focus on. Like, you've got this list,
but I want to see a bunch of progress. I'm trying to do it in a bunch amount of time that I can't, but not sacrificing integrity.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Have you met Kia?
True. Okay, so we are also a part of Leslie LaFleur Under the Sea Fabrics Fabric of the Month. We get 32 count Lugana. Guys, this is beautiful. Something summer needs to go on this. It just looks like an ice cream truck.
What a great way to describe that.
It looks like an ice cream truck. It's beautiful. I'm so excited for that. So that was our Leslie fabric for this month.
That was nice.
Okay, I want to talk about stitching gifts next, and then we'll talk about market. I promise we'll get there. If that's what you are like sitting on pins and needles for, we will get there. So when we got back from market, as y'all know, Common Threaded Stitcher is happening right now. We are having so much fun with it. It's a busy time right now. Aside from everything else going on, it's just a busy time right now. And so seeing people be able to pop in when they can is so phenomenal, and it's so encouraging to watch that thread. So many people talk to us at market about how it's encouraged them in one way or another. Stephanie kind of helped me. She had said right before I had her proof the days of the month and what the prompts were going to be. And she said, you should make the prompts around market. And so I thought about it, and the Thursday we left for market was, what designer would you most want to have dinner with? And so that's super fun to walk around. Like Jordan from Little Stitch Girl, she had so many people who wanted to have dinner with her. And so getting to talk to her about that in person and be like, man, like you're so popular and like people love you, want to have dinner with you. And so that was super fun and encouraging for her as a designer. And then the Friday of market was your stitching friends, your stitching bestie, which is really fun. Saturday of market was what's your favorite market release or your most anticipated market release. And then Sunday was to promote your LNS. And so like that thread has been so lovely, and I've met so many lovely, lovely people on it. One of those people is So Much to Love Project Bags. Now I've secretly been so envious of the bags that I've seen and the bag of the month, and kicking ourselves that we did not enroll in it before it was sold out. And I will be darned if we did not get back from market and guess what I had in my P.O. box, just because of a comment on Common Threaded Stitcher, just saying that I loved her bags, and I thought that was so incredibly sweet. And y'all, we've talked about this before. I do not say I love things for y'all to send them to us. I do not say like Leanne and I had this conversation a few months after StitchCon. She had posted a beautiful project bag that she had made, and I commented on it, Leanne, I love that, and it was in bee fabric and it was so adorable. And I was like, oh, I love this. And she said, give me your address. And I said, no, I want you to tell me how much it is and I will pay you for that. And so like I do not say stuff so that you guys will send me things. And
it's a sweet gesture, but
it is an extremely sweet gesture. It does make me not want to comment on things because I don't want that. But is that a clear message? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
That's a very clear message. We don't say things to get stuff.
Yes.
We don't
want to use and abuse this platform at all.
And we want to make sure that we're support designers, and that's where we're at.
Yep.
And that we want to support LNSs. That's where we're at. We're blazing this trail too.
Yes.
And trying to figure it out. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to overgo on one way and go the other way. We want to comment and encourage you.
Yes.
That's all we want to do.
Yeah. So when we got back, I had this beautiful package in my P.O. box, and I was here for it. So Stephanie and Karen worked together, and Karen made me this beautiful So Much to Love bag. And so when you open it, then it has the little floss bag to go with it. And it has this beautiful, I'll show you the inside of this one, has this beautiful yellow gingham in it. It's
I've already seen it.
so pretty. I don't know why. And then it came with a strap as well with their label on it, so that you can put that on the bag if you want to. And I'm just so grateful. This is such a sweet, sweet thing for Karen to do. And thank you so much, Karen, for doing this, because I just love it. I love the big flowers. I love the bees. Like, a spring project needs to go in here immediately. So thank you so much for that.
That was very, very sweet.
I need to not talk for a minute. Can you want to do your haul, your market haul?
People come in to tune for you.
No, they come in for the male stitcher.
Makes me feel uncomfortable. All right, so we did some browsing, we did some talking, we did some purchasing, we did some more browsing, more talking, and more purchasing. When we got home and kind of reviewed our haul, we made 3 different piles. We did a her pile, we did a me pile, and then we did a us pile. So I want to go over my haul and kind of discuss what we purchased. It was very generous of the designers to let us purchase inside their shops. It was great discussions, things like that. But I want to start with Val stuff. Let's see, we go over head over heels for Halloween. It was a limited edition, and the designer wanted literally to tell me that I need to stitch this and show it to you guys.
Yeah.
The model that she did was amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And right now I'm in the Halloween aesthetic. I can't describe why I'm in the Halloween aesthetic right now. That's just my groove. So I am going to make this part of my mania. Start, possibly finish, and that's a spoiler alert. So I'm super excited about this piece right here. So that is actually, Val's not going to offer a kit. Those were a market exclusive that they came as a kit, but that chart will be available. But all of the instructions and everything are inside of it. Which I'm super stoked for. And I think it might be something when I start to put things together, I have the boys to be part of it. Yeah. Just kind of showing the fun. This, you can't show this. I can't show that. Yeah, but you can show But I can show this. Yeah. I can show this. So if you guys are familiar with Melody, the Open Road Abode Needleworks, she was a fun gal to talk to. Super enthused about her patterns, super enthused about people stitching it, and they're usually on postcards. I'd show it to you. Actually, I'm going to show you to that one side. The other side is the actual pattern that she designed, and it's supposed to be super simple, super fun to do, a quick stitch. And we actually came across her patterns. Was it before we went to Keepsakes for the first time? Key and I love playing board games, card games, Skip-O, Phase 10, that stuff, right? And we made a bet, whoever would win, we would choose for the other to do a stitch. And I won. That doesn't happen very often. I won, and I picked out a stitching project for her. And I wasn't going to be mean about it. You know, I want her to enjoy the stitch. And we came across this postcard stitching project. Neighbors for Night. Neighbors for the Night. And it was basically 2 campers right next to each other with a fire, with a bonfire in the middle. And it was just awesome. And she did it monochromatic. It looks beautiful. I did it on a navy, I did it on Wichelt Graceful Gray 14 count with 934. What? 934. 934 DMC. Yep. And so yes, and when I every time I would show that progress, everybody in the comment section would be like, "Where do you get those patterns?" So this is Open Road Abode, is Melody's designer label, and your LNS can actually order directly from her. And so call your LNS. He picked up this one that has Valentine's Day, July 4th, Halloween, and Christmas campers. It was a seasonal thing. Yes. And that's just where I'm at right now. Yep. Then my next piece was Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches. It says Be Stitchy. Absolutely, it's put it in my. I don't know if it's gonna focus. It's not gonna focus, but we're gonna put it in the description box. It's not gonna focus. Okay. Sorry. The lights and the white, it's just not. It's not doing it. It's very awesome. Very cute. I can't wait to stitch it.
Yep.
Like some other people, I can wait to stitch things.
I cannot. Cindy from Luhu Stitches. What a wonderful gal. She attended our class with Laura, which is her sister. We met her in their shop on Thursday night, actually Friday, after we had our class. Super wonderful gal. Very loves her designs, and I love this one. You were in love.
I was in love with that one. So absolutely awesome. And I skipped one from Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches, Ghostly Guard.
Another
Halloween aesthetic. I don't know. Eventually I'll get out of this aesthetic and go somewhere else. But right now I'm in it, so might as well go 100%. I love it. It's very simple, but just something that I would...
That picture does not do it justice.
No, it doesn't, but I can't wait to do it. Because I'm going to switch things up, because I don't necessarily go with anything called for.
Yeah.
It costs things.
Your little rule breaker.
I know, rule breaker. Of course, another Halloween aesthetic. Luminous Fiber Arts October, which is cute.
So we got to talk with Misty, and I have a few patterns from in my haul as well. We got to talk to Misty, and she was so incredibly sweet, and all of her models were beautiful.
Oh,
she does
man.
all of her own photography, all of her own printing, everything.
Everything.
And we both love this. It was hard for me to give this one to him because I like it just as much.
What is it? You name it, you get it?
Yep.
So,
I name them, I keep them.
I name them, I keep them. I actually had to steal this one from Kia.
Yes, he did.
I had to beg.
Yes, he
Guess
did.
what? It's not a Halloween aesthetic. Boom. Farm fresh eggs. It's awesome, and I'm going to probably finish it the way that it's pictured right here.
Yeah, so this is like a palette sign, and then you've got this section up here that is the Farm Fresh Eggs sign, and then these are 4 eggs that dangle from this. And it's so pretty, and she gives you all the templates and everything on how to finish the eggs.
Amazing.
So cute.
I don't know why I have not come across that, but I love how she finishes it. And
Yes.
it doesn't, I don't say that very often, like how
Yeah.
people finish. That's what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
It's super pretty.
And I don't know where to display it or whatever like that. I got a couple ideas. Hello Saturday, I Love You, and by ABD. I love these two designs. It says weekend forecast, cross stitch with no chance of cleaning. I like that. And it says hello Saturday, I love you.
So Amy actually gave us this pattern as we were talking with her, and he already loved it. Tell him what you want to do with the hello one.
I'm actually going to change it from Saturday to Friday.
Why?
Because we actually host a Friday night stitching. We call it Friday Night Stitch. We've got several people that come over, and we sit around our living room. We eat together, we break bread together, and it's a very cool time for all of us. Kind of catch up on what's life is going on and things like that. But I want to change it to Hello Friday.
I think it will be easy to switch that up a little bit. I think there's only one letter that we have to chart that's not charted already. So Amy, and talking with her, she is so funny, and we just loved having a conversation with her.
That connection is just awesome.
Yeah, they have some really great patterns, and so when we picked this one up from her, when she gave this to us, we were both excited about it. They are phenomenal. So it's ABD, and yeah, y'all should look them up because she has some really funny like memes turned cross stitch patterns.
I love it. All right.
There's that.
There's this one. So I know we talked a little bit earlier about Liz Matthews. Just phenomenal gal, phenomenal designer, just great to talk to, easy to talk to. And this is what I picked up.
I'm trying not to get that glare.
Which is basically 3 houses. I know Kia loves houses, so it was more of a nod to her of stitching this, and I can't wait to stitch it. A beautiful design, absolutely love it.
So pretty.
Love it.
This is really pretty in person too.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
All right. You know, these are pretty small pieces, right? And you're like, tech guy, where's those big pieces that you love?
I know, because Market was all about those samplers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Hanes sampler, this
From Annie Beez.
For Annie Beez, it's gonna be a beaut. It's gonna be huge. I don't know what I'm drawn to it, but I love this sampler.
It's beautiful in
just
person.
Awesome. You know, I want a little counter saying awesome and amazing and fantastic. I'd stitch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, when you come across a design or a pattern, you're like, wow, and you actually see it in person, and you see the model, and you're like, wow, I don't know if I can make it better than what it is, but I want to stitch it. That's where I'm at with that one.
Yeah. It's so pretty.
Oh, man. They're very classy.
So pretty. And can I tell you something? I see your aesthetic changing again.
I know.
I do. I see you starting to want to stitch more historical pieces, and I'm here for it.
So if you were on the common threaded stitcher, was the unicorn stitch, and that's funny that you mentioned that.
Unicorn chart. Tomorrow's prompt is, oh no, wait, later this week, the prompt is what's your stitchy wish list.
It took me another day that I can't put in more words. I didn't know.
He hit his word limit yesterday. On Instagram,
actually, it was
word
today.
Limit, oh, is it today?
Well, you may see it later, but the day that we're filming right now, I didn't know Instagram had a word limit.
Guys, it's 5,000 character limit.
It was your stitchy memories.
Or wait, maybe it's 5,000 on YouTube. But anyway, you hit the word limit.
I hit the limit. Like when I was putting Susan the Flaw, and then I had to take some stuff out.
Wah, wah.
But anyway, side note, I'm going to jot from that really quick. Stitchy memories, there's so many that I can't put down on Instagram, and I know I'll be forgetting a few. Like, I knew this was going to be, I don't know why I'm like tearing up, but I enjoyed this post so much.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a new one that we didn't have last time.
Right.
So it's really precious to see all the fun memories that people have.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay. Let's go through our together pile. First off, we picked up some fabric from, this one's yours, from Nikyscreations.
She's only saying it's our pile because she's let me see them.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest here.
Yes. Okay. Then, okay, so we picked up that fabric. We each got a fabric, so that's his fabric from Nikyscreations. Then I picked up, Cecilia Turner is so incredibly sweet.
My goodness.
And she was just walking us through her whole room, explaining every single thing that she has. I want to do her quarterly charts that she did for this year. They're beautiful. And I love them super tiny. Stephanie talked about them on her channel. I know several other people have signed up to do that. We're going to sign up if Keepsakes does it. But Cecilia took time with us and walked us around and talked. We had a great conversation about social media and the encouragement behind it. And she allowed us to purchase a few things, which was so sweet. The first thing that I got was Land That I Love. We had a really funny time too. So I bought 2 whirligigs. What do I call them?
I don't know what you call them.
I call them something. Dingalings. I keep calling them dingalings. I bought 2 of them out of the 4-pack chart. And then Stephanie, when they came for Thanksgiving, she brought me the other 2 as like just a sweet gift. And so Cecilia was like, oh, the show special is for you to buy all 4 of them. And I was like, oh, actually, I just got them. And she goes, I said, I just got them from Keepsakes. And she goes, uh-huh. And I bet Stephanie charged you full price, didn't she? It was just a funny moment that we had with her.
I think you actually said dingalings in front of a designer that was not the right name.
I know.
And she was so gracious to say,
I know.
She just ignored it.
It's like me calling Brenda Brender. Like... I just can't.
Forgive us for humans too.
Yes. So Cecilia was so incredibly
She was
sweet.
awesome.
So this is one of the things I picked up that was land that I love. I would love to pick up some of her heartware. And so if Keepsakes is going to start stocking that, or if they can order it from her or a distributor, we might pick up a few of those. So I just love this. And then on the back, she shows it framed as well as a different option.
Just cute.
But this is a fantastic smalls exchange. So.
And that's why we were like halfway through the tour of the market. We're like,
yeah.
Smalls gift exchanges. Like what were we doing? What were we doing here?
Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. JBW Designs. It's a collection of all of her ornaments.
She had a tree.
Just amazing. Just phenomenal. Yeah. And these are just, I want to make sure I'm not showing off a pattern. But there are 20 ornaments in here. And
she did them all over one.
Which...
So they made the cutest little ornament.
Just a little something.
Cute.
Little something.
You could even make them scissor fobs or whatever you wanted. I just really like that. Okay, this one, I'm not sure why it's in our together pile because it's 100% something I'm going to stitch. But this is Threadneedle Street from Annie Beez. It says, we don't say goodnight till our stitching's complete. That's how we roll here on Threadneedle Street. I am obsessed. Obsessed. This Annie Beez, I literally walked in her room. Her family was there with her. She was so incredibly kind. And I walk into her room and nobody else was in there. We were just talking and I said, wow, I would like to stitch one of everything. And she's like, great, let me start your shopping cart for you. And I was like, no. Because, you know, we had an agenda to talk with them and not necessarily just go in trying to buy anything because we are not wholesalers. And so anyway, just going in there and like having conversation, and it was just really funny. And so she was so gracious to allow us to purchase some things to show you guys. But this was on my market like pre-order list for sure. I love that one.
What she doesn't know that I'm probably going to get to it before she can.
No, you would.
Because she has too many whips.
That's true. I have so many whips.
I like
okay, you want to talk about that one?
Yes, absolutely. Honeysuckle sampler, another sampler, and dang it, I got bit by the Kia bee bug. It's another house. And it's a sampler.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a different aesthetic. Mm-hmm. That's 3 strikes, I'm out.
Hype man.
This is where I'm at. Like, love it.
Got it.
Again, because I'm a monogamous stitcher, I'll probably get to it before Kia does.
No. All right, the Nebby Needle. We picked up the Bees of Summer.
Of course.
Because we really like these a lot. There are only 4 colors of floss in this entire pattern book, which is great. So we got that. And then from Blackbird, this beautiful book. I've never owned a Blackbird book before. I've only like,
so weird.
Secretly like wanted them from a distance. It's so beautiful.
It smells great.
It smells great. The pictures are just beautiful. And this pattern right here is 100% why I bought this book. Look at that.
Why you bending it that way?
I know. Don't
do it.
Don't yell at me.
Don't judge.
Look at that box. That match box is so cute. It's over 1. I mean, it's just adorable.
I think you're looking at. Adorable. I think your aesthetic's changing about over 1. I am actually so excited to stitch over 1. I know you are.
I know. It's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about this wonderful company.
You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
You may use them.
Yes. So you obviously have designers there who are releasing new designs for charts and things like that for the upcoming year. But there are also different thread companies, fabric companies, thread and fabric companies, distributors. I mean, there are a lot of people like that at market. And when we went into the Weeks Dye Works room, they had racks of beautiful floss that I just wanted to pet, and wool and so many different things. And then they had these tables full of fabric. And, you know, we're just looking and gazing through all of it. And this wonderful lady comes up and introduces herself as Miranda. And so we started talking and telling her our story and what we do and why we were at market and our class and all the things. And she was so sweet.
Just amazing.
So sweet. And she was explaining the new flosses and the new everything. And
To us.
To us, yes. And this room was full of people. And we very much expect that, like, we are low man on the totem pole at market because we are not shop owners. And so, you know, we don't take priority when there's a room full of people.
And we're okay with that.
And we're totally fine with
okay
that.
with that.
She spent so much time with us, and she was so incredibly, incredibly sweet. And talking about just their motto as a company and what they like to do and how they like to come alongside people and really come alongside designers and support them and encourage them in whatever way possible. And so we just thought that was incredibly sweet. And so we just had a really good time with her. We actually talked to her twice throughout the weekend on 2 separate days and just had some great conversation.
Just someone that gets what we're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so she's super encouraging to Yarn Tree for putting on Needlework Market. She does a lot with Weeks Dye Works, and she was just, oh my goodness, she was just super, super
I hope she does
sweet.
because she's the president of Weeks Dye Works.
True. Okay, so she actually gave us some Confederate gray. This is 40 count, and she wanted me to try a few patterns on it because I love Confederate gray, and I was really pumped about that. And then she gifted us even more fabric. It is this 20 count in blue jeans. Guys, I can see patriotic on here, 100%. It literally looks like a piece of denim that they want you to stitch on.
Denim, denim, denim.
Yes. Weeks Dye Works is a phenomenal company. The more we learn about them, the more I use them. That is by far the biggest thread stash I have is Weeks Dye Works, and it's just phenomenal. We really have enjoyed getting to know them as a business.
Yes. Thank you, Miranda.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through my haul because we have kept y'all for way too long. The first thing I have is from Jordan, which is Little Stitch Girl. It was so great getting to meet her, y'all. She is a up-and-coming designer, and she's been around for a little bit. We met her through social media at Stitch West last year when they were on a live stream, and I was talking with Kef of Snug Harbor Crafts. And so we picked up 4 of her new patterns that are seasonal, and they all go together. They're so cute. This pumpkin is probably my favorite, so I loved that. Then from JBW, I got the Queen Bee. Now, Keepsakes is going to have the model of this. It's a pillow. It's gorgeous, and I love it. So
we could have picked it up, but we passed on it.
I know. I know. So also from Cecilia, I picked up this quilting one. I'm going to stitch a model for this to be shown at Keepsakes because I'm going to do something just a little bit different with those quilts, and I'm really excited about it. So I picked up that. Y'all, I'm flying through mine. Okay, this kit I also picked up from JBW. She was so kind. Count how many times we say kind, amazing, awesome, sweet, all the things. This is a needle case and scissor fob, and it is everything you need to complete that. So she gave you the fabric, the floss, the everything. The DMC, the needles, everything. Wool.
Everything.
So adorable. Okay, then the next thing I got is a kit from Summer House Stitchworks. This is Liberty Hill Farm.
Which
I have not decided yet if I'm going to stitch these in a drum or if I will stitch them flat.
drum them.
I know. So I got this Nikyscreations fabric to go with it. And then I got the Sulky thread pack.
Of course.
As well, which I'm excited to try out.
Of course.
Yeah. Annie Beez. I picked up a couple of things from her. I got Christmas cookies. So adorable. Bunny and Bee, you guys, look at that bunny. So cute.
It's a thing.
Yep. Then I got from Lucy Bean, Be Merry. I want to finish that as a pillow for under the Christmas tree. Again from Cecilia Turner, I got Tomato Tart.
Cute.
And then from the Nebby Needle, I got Votes for Women. I'm really excited to start this. I want to start and finish this in 2020.
Yep.
Because I need to.
It's a good goal.
Yeah. Teresa Kogut's room. You guys, we walked into Teresa Kogut's room, like totally just walking in there to like check it out. And she was like, hey guys, like totally like she knew us because she didn't know of us. And it's just so fun to see people in real life and feel like you already know them just through this. Through this platform. And so it's like we had been friends forever, and she was trying so hard, like so hard,
girl,
to get me to start punch needle.
Girl, not right now.
And I was like, Teresa, I can't. And she was like, yes, you can. It's so easy and so fun. And you can do it with the kids, like sitting in the same room, you know, like mindless. It's so fun. And I was like, but I can't. So then I like picked out a couple of charts of hers that I wanted. And I got her book.
It's on its way.
It's on its way. And then I got a third pattern and it's on its way too. And as I was getting those, she was like, okay, so what punch needle thing can I include for you? And I was like, Teresa, I promise you will be the first person I contact if I ever get ready for punch needle, which I'm trying hard to not be into punch needle.
When do you have time to do it right now?
I know. Okay, from Manny to Donna, I got this Let Freedom ring box. This was on my market pickup list too because it's beautiful. I got the pin set and then the thread keeper as well.
Of course you did.
So pretty.
It was good. It's nice.
I know Pam got that too. I know, it's so cute. Okay, from Lucy Beam, I got Stitch Always. I did not put these in any order. I should have said from Lucy Beam, I got this, this, and this, and I just did
That's what I was trying to do.
There we go. Okay. From Hello from Liz Matthews. I mean, I had to get the quilt tree.
Yeah.
Like, I had to. It's a quilt tree. And Liz gave me this really cute little thing that this will sit down in when it's finished.
Just pocket it.
Yep. And she has a great floss tube tutorial on how to finish this.
Great lady.
So great. I also picked up Nighttime in Old Town from her because this picture does not do that justice. It's a great picture, but in person it's amazing.
That might be a sneak for me.
No, it will not. Okay, Summer House Stitch Works. I picked up Chronicles of Olive Marie. Am I reading that right? I saw this in person.
It's like Arlene Marie.
And just loved it. I'm so sorry. I'm not pronouncing that right.
I'm sorry.
And so I really liked that. I loved the colors.
Different aesthetic for you.
It is very different aesthetic for me. And then from Luminous Fiber Arts, I got these two charts. One is Savor Every Stitch, and it's a little pillow, pin keep. Love that. And then So Tweet. I thought that would be a really good smalls.
Yeah.
I thought it was adorable.
Of course.
Yeah. And then Zappy Dots was there, and y'all know our love of Zappy Dots. We get one every month in our Creative Notion subscription. And so I picked up a Brenda Gervais and a Glitter House Needle Nanny so that I can have those for either my scissor fob or my necklace or a actual needle nanny, which is great. The last thing that we want to show you is we got to meet Jason, the president of Sulky Threads, and he was really, really awesome. He was a super down-to-earth person to just connect with and talk with.
Talk shop.
In general. Yeah, talk shop. And he gave us a couple of samples that we're really excited to try for you guys. And then he also gave me some needles for my sewing machine, which I was really thrilled about. So as you know, Sulky Threads work, they have so many different types of thread. And so I use them a lot in quilting, and I'm going to start using some of them for some of our cross-stitch projects as well. So I'm really excited about that.
It was really cool to see the conversation between Kia and Jason when he was like, switched right into quilting, like her face just lit up.
Yeah, and we just like started talking like jargon, and he's like, and this is the point where I check out.
I'm just gonna go in the corner and look at some cool things.
It was fun, yeah. So we got to meet him and talk with him, and that was really interesting.
It was awesome.
So we met a lot of new friends at Needlework Market. You want to talk about your new friend?
My new friend Coy
And Scott.
Scott, how you doing? So we were getting off the elevator. I don't remember one of the times. We're getting out of the elevator, going around the corner. Got to these two lovely ladies. They were on a mission.
Sarah and Heather.
I was gonna get there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
They looked like they were on a mission, and they were like they're checking off the list. I don't know what they were doing at the time. It doesn't really matter. But they kind of like stopped and said hi, like they know us.
Yeah.
I'm like, the nice thing to do is say hi back in the same tone and everything like that. So I said hi, and we kept running into them 2 or 3 times during the market. It looked like they were busy. I didn't want to stop them and say hi. We just kept passing each other in the hallways like in high school.
Yeah.
And then later on that day, I was dealing with some other things going on at the front desk. And
y'all, I fell at the hotel. I tripped over something outside at the hotel, and it was a disaster.
It was a brutal disaster. So
a disaster.
So I was trying to hash that thing out, as a good husband. And they're like, we kind of want to take a picture with you.
Well, earlier in the day, she said, I'm trying to talk my husband into stitching.
That's right.
And she was like, he's on the cusp. We've kind of looked at some things on Etsy that he might be interested in.
Go ahead and do it.
Little did we know their husbands were with them. They just weren't in the hotel at that moment.
Right. And of course, if I can get a guy convinced to go through needlework, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I said, I would love to talk to him. Whatever. We'll Insta-text. We'll figure it out. And it was towards the later of like Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. It's a blur.
Yeah.
They're like, we would like to take a picture with you. I'm like, that is super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I met Sarah's husband, Coy. He started buying patterns, and later that day he went to a big box shop and got some threads, got some floss, got a hoop. He actually had a Q-snap on his way. And just an amazing guy. So is Scott. We talked shop about needlework, things like that. We're Bearded Brothers, hashtag Bearded Brothers, Bearded Stitcher. I can't remember what the hashtag we just created. But it was just good to see another guy stitching and the love of needlework because he just got a little nudge. Yeah. Like that's so incredible. Yeah. And Sarah and Heather, sweet, incredible gals. Love their bags. Just great personality. Mm-hmm. And Scott, man, he's a trooper. Yeah, you know, he was just in it to win it. And so,
so meeting Sarah and Heather was really, really cool. Yep. And you know, they're just like two friends who own a business together, and it's really interesting to see that all work. And so we've kind of connected through Instagram.
Oh man!
Since we've been back, they jumped on the Common Threaded Stitcher bandwagon.
Awesome.
And we're excited to have them.
Yeah.
So
more the merrier, right?
Yep, absolutely. So if you are joining along with Common Threaded Stitcher, thank you. If you have not, or if you feel behind, that's okay.
Just jump in.
Just jump in whenever you can.
If you can't figure it out, Insta-text me and I can probably help you out.
There we go.
You're not going to be the first one. I bet you're not going to be the last one.
Yeah.
So we're here to help.
So we're about halfway through the month. We still have, you know, several days to go. So jump in when you can. And, you know, like he keeps finding bearded stitchers. You know, guys, there are some funny posts on there. Scruffy, I'm going to say his name wrong. They're Married with Stitches here on FLOSSTUBE. It's Bearded Stitcher and
Scruffy Kitten.
Scruffy.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to say it wrong, so I don't even want to try and butcher it.
We're going to post it down below in the description box.
But they are hysterical.
Hilarious.
And they're keeping up with Common Threaded Stitcher, and they're so funny.
They're just...
their narrative of their
laugh
post.
out loud.
Hilarious.
Like you're laughing out loud.
Yeah, hilarious. So all right, we're gonna
jump off.
We're gonna let you go because we've kept you for far too long. Yes. And we appreciate the time that you guys spend with us. We know you have so many hours in your day and you choose to spend this time with us, and we don't want to take that for granted.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us in the Hive today. Please tell us what your favorite market design that was released. Tell us down in the comments below so we can keep up with that and encourage you to get more stitching done.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see your guys' comments and all that great stuff.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us in the Hive this week, and you have a great week.